me, my name's Jo and I'm one of the trustees here at HCC. And actually it's with my Chair of Trustees hat on that I've got some exciting news to share with you about some staffing changes in the church. Staffing is one of the responsibilities and areas that trustees cover. So it's with great pleasure that I've got some news for you. Some of you will remember that last year both Heather Wilson and Caleb Ford were interns at HCC, and there's some history to that. We'd identified some needs within the church. We needed somebody to take on the children's work and also someone to take on and grow the youth work within our church. And we recognised the giftings and callings of these young people. And so the internship was an opportunity to give both of them some experience of what it's like to really work in church and see what goes on behind the scenes, because believe me, an awful lot goes on behind the scenes. So they got to grips with some of the nuts and bolts, and they weren't just observing, they were real participators and helped to shape the work that goes on here. So those positions started in September and ran through to the end of June this summer. So firstly, Heather. Heather's role concentrated on the children's work at church. So that's not just what happens on a Sunday, but it involves all the preparation beforehand, liaising with the different teams, and also building and developing relationships with the children's families in the community and going into schools. She's done this largely with John, and that's involved doing assemblies, and then those seasonal things like at Christmas and Easter, going into the schools, telling the story of Jesus to very largely unchurched children. So that's a fantastic ministry. She also got involved with some of the administrative side of what goes on at HCC, and believe me, there's a lot of that. And she did this under the guidance of Lizzie. Really, really delighted to say that Heather has accepted an offer to become our children's pastor at church. This is a 3-day-a-week role, or hours equivalent to 3 days a week, and it represents a bit of a baton change or handover, because she's going to be doing a little bit more of what John did in schools, and so that releases John in turn to do some more of the outreach and evangelism in the community, which is so much on his heart. So it's a sign of real growth and development, and it's exciting. It's exciting. I should say that Heather was in fact offered a full-time job at a church in Swindon to be their children's pastor, but after praying about it, she felt she really wanted to stay in her home church of HCC. So do pray for her and bless her and encourage her when you see her. So Caleb, his internship was a little bit different. It started with a couple of months working at Jesus Culture Church in Sacramento, that's in the USA, where he got experience of what a really big church is like. And then when he returned, he came back to develop the youth ministry here, working with our young people. He's also been involved with some media and tech work, and of course you'll have seen him worship leading and welcoming us on a Sunday morning. Caleb's role has largely, though, been a lot less visible than Heather's, because while we see the children going out on a Sunday morning, we don't see the youth gathering on a Sunday evening. Nor do we see what he's initiated at the bridge on a Tuesday afternoon. So Caleb started a drop-in back in March for children coming home from school, and it's been a really successful event. The young people come not just for the donuts, but they've learnt that it's a safe place where they can talk, where they can be listened to confidentially, where they can have someone pray for them. Somebody got healed when he prayed for them. And there's been a huge number of children come through the bridge doors on a Tuesday afternoon. So that's absolutely tremendous, and is building relationships with the young people in our town. He's also been developing the YouTube channel and Instagram that are new to church. So after a bit of a break over the summer, Caleb's internship is resuming on the 1st of September for another 5 months till the end of January. And he'll be continuing to do some of that media work, but primarily this youth work. And alongside that, so this is again 3 days a week, or the equivalent of 3 days a week in hours. Alongside that, he's got a part-time job at Mabel's coffee shop in Old Town, and he's just embarking on a theological training course. So this is a 2-year course run by Westminster Theological College. It's largely remotely done, but there are some residentials, and in fact the first one is the first week of September. And this is really good because Caleb can continue this wherever he is for the next 2 years as he then gains a theological qualification. So again, please be praying for Caleb, for direction for him, for confirmation of his calling, and pray for the young people he encounters, he encourages and introduces to faith.